A look at the Chinese zodiac. Many interesting stories and superstitions surround the Chinese zodiac. Why isn't a cat in the Chinese zodiac when they're so common in Asian culture? A story says that the rat pushed the cat out of the way, so the rat would win the race. However, in the Vietnamese zodiac, there is a year of the cat. It replaces the rabbit on the Chinese calendar. Several superstitions are linked with those born in certain Chinese zodiac years. Tigers are thought to conflict with others and could affect a couple's relationship after marriage. One superstition for tigers says they shouldn't enter the bride's or groom's room. It's bad luck for tigers to be best men or bridesmaids at weddings too. However, being born in a year of the dragon is desirable because dragons are considered both optimistic and successful. The number of babies born in Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, and Singapore goes up significantly each dragon year. Think about your own Chinese zodiac sign. What does it say about you?
Okay, welcome back to English for You. We're ready for day 2 of this Chinese zodiac article. I'm Sam.
I'm Chickling.
Okay, so yesterday we talked about most of the, I think, every animal. Every 12, all 12 of the animals that made it onto the Chinese zodiac. And we talked about how that happened, the race. And some very cute stories there.
And who won the first place.
Yeah, and who came last.
The rat comes in first.
Yeah.
And then the pig is the last.
Pig came in last place, as we would expect.
Because he wanted to take a nap before it reached the destination.
The lazy pig.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, why we say lazy pig. I don't know.
But it's really cute. I like pigs very much.
Yeah, me too. I'd like a micro pig as a pet.
Oh, I know, right?
Right, okay. I guess we should get going with today's story, today's article. So it begins with many interesting stories and superstitions surround the Chinese zodiac.
Superstitions, this is a really long word. 这个就是迷信的意思. It's a noun. And the adjective form is superstitious. 代表一个人很迷信哦. So have you heard of this superstition? Like when you break a mirror, it represents bad luck.
Yeah.
So have you ever broken a mirror?
I had, when I was a teenager in my room, there was like a mirror that was made up of like 3 sections, and I broke all 3 of the sections. So that counts as 3 mirrors being broken.
Oh my goodness. And did anything bad happen to you?
I can't remember, actually. I don't think it did.
Okay.
But I was very kind of conscious for a while.
But you're still here.
Yeah, still here. Nothing terrible happened.
That's good.
So, in the first sentence of the article today, we had the word surround. And it's an interesting word to start off with. We can use surround to mean like to be physically around the whole of something. So, for example, people in the city are trapped because they're surrounded by the enemy army. In the article, though, we're talking about ideas or stories many people believe about something. So it's a bit of a different meaning there. So an example would be, this old house is surrounded in mystery. People say that ghosts live here, but I'm not sure.
所以老师刚刚有提到哦 surround 在这边指的意思比较特别，它是与什么东西密切相关的意思。不过大致上来说呢，我们都会用环绕围绕来表示这一个字。比如说 the house has a small backyard surrounded by a high brick wall。 那么这个字如果再加上 ing 再加上一个 s 变成 surroundings， 就会代表你的周围环境的意思。比如说 a good architect takes into account the building's surroundings。所以呢，我们就知道说，其实是有很多12生肖的有趣的故事，还有迷信的事情的。那我们来继续看一下 What are they? What are these stories? And what are the superstitions?
Okay, well, hopefully we're going to see that coming up. So the article says, why isn't a cat in the Chinese zodiac when they're so common in Asian culture? The story says that the rat pushed the cat out of the way so the rat would win the race.
I love this rat. It's so smart.
Right.
OK， 所以我们知道说猫呢，其实在我们亚洲文化是很常见的。可是为什么12生肖中是没有猫呢？老师昨天刚刚其实有提到这个东西嘛。那么就是说，其实老鼠把猫推开，因为这样它才能赢。I mean, because if the cat was actually in the race, maybe the rat would never win.
Right,
right?
Because it would just get eaten.
Yeah.
So there we go. I guess we've worked out why the cat isn't there, as we were discussing yesterday. The article then says, though, however, in the Vietnamese zodiac, there is a year of the cat. It replaces the rabbit on the Chinese calendar. So we have the word replace, which means to change or to have one thing instead of another. So an example would be, Miley was feeling sick, so Lisa replaced her for the next basketball game.
OK， 所以呢 replace 取代嘛，那我们知道在越南的12生肖中有一个猫年，它就是取代了中国历法上的兔子，所以其实每个国家是不太一样的。那么 replace 是替代，所以比如说把 A 替换成 B 就是 replace A with B。比如说 the factory plans to replace most of its workers with robots。那么拿来替代的那个东西叫做 replacement， 就是替代物。比如说 she will continue in her present job until a replacement can be found， 所以等到他们找到一个可以代替他的人呢，他才会离开哦。
Okay, so back to the article. Several superstitions are linked with those born in certain Chinese zodiac years. So here's the first phrase of this article, to be linked with. This simply means the same as to be connected to. So there are superstitions that have a connection with certain Chinese zodiac years.
Oh, 所以 that is a phrase that looks really interesting. Be linked with something.
Yeah.
So I think that means it has something to do with something, right?
Right, yeah, exactly.
所以就是与什么相关啊？这个 link 我们平常是拿来当名词啦，当电脑上的连结，但是这边是指联系的意思。所以有些迷信啊，跟出生在某些中国12生肖年份的人是有关的。
Okay.So tigers are thought to conflict with others and could affect a couple's relationship after marriage.
I've heard of this before because my mom is a tiger.
Oh, really?
And when her best friend got married, she wasn't allowed to go near her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of sad because tigers are really strong. They are supposed to be...
Yeah, that's very, very... Well, it's a big superstition then, isn't it? It's very seriously taken by people. They don't want to mess up their marriage because there was a tiger present. So.
I know, right? 所以呢，这个的确是真的哦，很多迷信是有关老虎的。那我们在这边有看到今天的文法，我们赶快来看一下。Alright， 所以呢，今天的 Language and Focus 我们要讲到的是被认为、据信、据说这个句型，那通常是来表达客观的事实，或者是众人的意见，或者是说法。那么搭配使用的动词呢，通常具有陈述或者是报告的性质。比如说呢，我们平常都会说维他命 C 呢其实是很棒，可以帮忙治疗感冒跟流感。那我们英文就可以说 Vitamin C is thought to help fight colds and flu。但是这个句型也可以改成it 当虚主词的结构哦，那个 that 引导的名词子句才是句子真正的主词，所以你也可以改写成 it is thought that， 然后后面把刚刚那句放回来 Vitamin C helps fight colds and flu。 那么如果呢不定词 to be 这个动作发生的时间是比较早的时候，那我们的不定词就要变成 to have 加上 past participle， 也就是过去分词。比如说 The company was reported to have had annual revenues in excess of $100 million in August.
Okay, so back to the article. One superstition for tigers says they shouldn't enter the bride's or groom's room. So there we go. That's
what happened to my mom.
Yeah, exactly. So here we have bride, and when a couple are getting married, you often have a man and a woman. So in this case, the woman getting married is the bride, and the man is the groom, which Chicklin will explain in just a sec. So the bride looks so beautiful in her big white dress. I'm sure she'll have a happy marriage.
Yeah, well, it's a good wish.
Yeah, exactly. A good wish. We hope you'll have a happy marriage.
Yes. OK, 所以 bride 就是新娘的意思哦。那么伴娘是什么呢？ bridesmaid 就是伴娘的意思。那么新郎老師剛剛有說就是 groom， 所以我們通常兩個一起講新郎新娘就是 the bride and groom。比如說我們再造另外一個句子 I'd like to propose a toast to the bride and groom， 就是我想要敬新郎跟新娘一杯。所以一種對屬老虎的人的迷信是什麼呢？就是大家覺得他們不可以進入新娘或者是新郎的房間，因為會破壞掉這個情侶或破壞掉這個夫妻的感情哦。
Okay. The article then says it's bad luck for tigers to be best men or bridesmaids at weddings too. However, being born in a year of the dragon is desirable because dragons are considered both optimistic and successful. So here we have a couple of vocab words for us to look at, and the first is desirable. If something is desirable, then it's something that we want to have. We can also think of the verb form desire, which means to want to have something. So, for example, jobs at this company are desirable because they offer good pay.
所以 desirable 就是令人向往的嘛，它是来自于 desire 这个名词或者是动词。比如说 everything she does is motivated only by a desire for money， 代表她所有做的事情都是因为想要赚钱而已。那另外一个字是另外一个句子我们看一下，这边的 desire 是当动词 She desires to succeed in business at any cost， 这个 at any cost 就是不择手段，不管怎么样都要做到的意思。Well, I think a tiger can be optimistic.
Right, yeah. So what does optimistic mean? Let's see if your mum is optimistic.
Yeah. She is always optimistic. Okay. It doesn't even make sense.
Right. Maybe she's a bit of a mix.
Yeah, maybe.
So what does optimistic mean? Well, if you're an optimistic person, you always think about what good things might come along or happen to you, rather than what bad things might come along. So in English, we can use an analogy with a glass of water. If we have half a glass of water, an optimistic person, it's hard to say, an optimistic person would say that the glass is half full. Now, a pessimistic person, which is the opposite of optimistic.
Which one are you?
Yeah, I would say I'm optimistic.
Me too.
Okay. So, yeah, a pessimistic person would say it's half empty. So, yeah, I would say it's half full. I always try to look at the bright side of things.
No, right? That's good.
Yeah, life's too short to always think about what bad things might
happen. I agree.
So an example of optimistic would be Ben is optimistic about the exam tomorrow, even though he hasn't studied at all.
Wow, 很乐观的哦，这个其实是很好的字。I really like this word， 因为我觉得这个字就是很亮，然后充满好能量的感觉哦。这个是乐观的。那我们来讲一下悲观的好了。The opposite is pessimistic， 就是悲观的。所以你也可以说 Beck is pessimistic that a peaceful solution can be found， 代表他觉得 she doesn't think that anything good will happen。那你就是 pessimistic。那我们当然如果是感到乐观的，我们再看另外一个句子 Investment analysts seemed optimistic， 代表说呢，这一些投资的分析师呢，他们对这个公司的前景是感到非常乐观的。所以呢，我们在婚礼上呢，其实是被觉得是不吉利的。但是如果是出生在龙年呢，大家就会觉得很向往，因为龙被觉得很乐观，然后很成功，是个很棒的动物。
Okay. So the number of babies born in Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, and Singapore goes up significantly each dragon year. So everybody wants a dragon as their child, or wants to be a dragon, I guess.
Maybe.
So we've got a phrase for us to look at here, and it's go up. If something goes up, then it increases. For example, the price of gas has gone up a lot over the last year.
OK， 所以呢，这个 go up 就是增长的意思，这边指的就是新生儿数量增加的意思。And we also saw significantly. What does it stand for?
Yeah, significantly. Well, it's the final vocab word for today.
Oh.
And yeah, it's an adverb that's used to talk about when something happens in a big or major way. So in the article, the number of babies born each dragon year goes up a lot. Okay. So, for example, Tina works very hard, so she earns significantly more money than her friends. So, a lot more money.
因为它代表很显著的啦 significantly 这边代表很显著的或相当数量的，不过呢它的其实是来自于形容词 significant， 那它们通常也是代表重要的意思哦。比如说 There have been significant computer developments during the last decade， 我们在过去10年来呢有非常显著的电脑发展啊，科技发展都很显著的意思。所以呢每到龙年啊，你就会发现台湾、香港、中国、新加坡出生的新生儿数量都会显著的增加，因为大家都会希望自己生出龙宝宝呗。
Okay, so the last sentence then is think about your own Chinese zodiac sign. What does it say about you?
We were talking about this so much yesterday.
You're right, yeah. Well, I couldn't think of anything for me, really. So Chicklin helped me out, as you would have heard. But
所以呢，大家就像我们昨天讲的，大家可以想一下自己的生肖有没有真的好像跟自己的个性是很像的。但其实最重要的呢，还是 keep working hard and just don't care about what the fate says about you.
Right, yeah, be yourself. Right?
Yeah, 真的就是做好自己的事情，好好努力 and keep doing what you should do. 这样就 OK 了。然后 always look on the bright side.
Right, yeah, always be optimistic.
So I think we have a really fun and tricky question for today.
Yes, it is a tricky question. So, what might be good about many dragon babies being born at the same time? And what might be bad?
So there could be like 10,000 babies this year and maybe none next year?
Yeah, maybe, because everybody wants their baby to be a dragon, right?
So because, you know, my college professor, he was texting me the other day saying that he doesn't have any classes this year.
Oh, wow.
Because there isn't enough students.
Wow.
There aren't enough students.
Yes, maybe
because we don't have babies anymore.
Right, yeah.
So, well, what is the zodiac sign this year?
Well, I think it is dragon.
Oh,
yeah.
So maybe my professor will have a class this year.
Yeah, maybe, because there's going to be so many dragon babies, according to the article. Yeah, so but maybe does that mean that there are going to be many dragon babies this year, but then... So I suppose that's a good thing for him, but maybe like next year there won't be any because everyone's had their baby this year, right? Like, and this, you can't keep having babies. So.
It could be bad because then the schools won't have, even numbers of classes
right,
every year.
Exactly. And maybe the dragon year, so this year will be a very competitive year.
It would be hard for the students.
Exactly, because there are so many students. If they're also kind of competitive with each other, they all try really hard, they want to succeed, because obviously that's what dragons are supposed to be like.
Oh, right.
Then maybe they're going, when it comes to go to university,
it's
going to be very competitive.
Then I want to be born into the tiger year,
right?
So I don't have to compete with anyone.
We're making it sound like it'll just be you in a class by yourself.
Hi. So I think that's pretty much what we have for today's lesson. And we talked a lot about the Chinese zodiac signs. We have 12 animals in them.
Yeah. So have a think if you're a dragon, because then, maybe this is your year.
And I think we'll see you next time. And don't forget to come back. This is Chickling.
And this is Sam.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Surround. The police were interested in learning more about the events that surrounded the man's death. Replace. Maria replaced her afternoon habit of watching TV at home with playing sports outside. Bride. The bride's eyes filled with tears after she listened to her parents' touching speech. Desirable. Living in a quieter place would be desirable, but I don't have enough money to move. Optimistic. Although we're going to India during the rainy season, I'm optimistic. I know we'll have fun no matter what. Significantly. Jason has become significantly taller after the summer break. He is growing really fast.
智慧小补帖
Superstition. Groom.